Hello, good people of Bergen. My name is Federico, and I'm an assistant professor of innovation and design thinking at NTNU. But most importantly, I'm Bergen-based, yay booty Bergen. And today I want to talk to you about this, CycleHack Bergen. It's going to be a really cool event where basically we're going to put together a group of really awesome, creative, and interesting people to help make Bergen a more bike-friendly place. This is going to come in many different shapes and sizes, and so today I'm going to tell you just a little bit about what that event is going to look like. In particular, I want to talk about design thinking, which is the methodology that we plan to use in this event. Design thinking is basically a methodology for innovation that uses the tools and the sensibilities of the traditional designer to help organizations become more innovative and design really groundbreaking products and services. Initially, it was used in Silicon Valley. It was born out of Stanford, where I got my graduate education. But little by little, it's been spreading all over the world. And so I'm really excited to be able to say that that's the methodology that we're going to use for these 2 days of the CycleHack. And so primarily what we do with design thinking is that we try to empathize as much as possible with a broad group of stakeholders and users, right? And so one of the first things that we're going to be doing during the CycleHack is going out and interacting with as many people as possible, right? And it's not only sort of simple, superficial interactions, but we're going to try to understand the users, i.e. the members of the Bergen community, as much as possible to be able to come up with really cool solutions around how do we make Bergen a more bike-friendly place, and also how to make people in Bergen sort of be more inclined to use their bicycles. Right? And so we use a lot of different tools. One of the major tools that we use, we like to say, is that we put on the goggles of the anthropologist. Right? And so we go out there and we try to understand people's environment from looking at them interact in their day-to-day lives. And so we're going to do a lot of observations, right? Simply just taking a step back and looking at what's going on in the environment. It's amazing what you can actually learn from simply observing with a beginner's eye or a beginner's mind, right? Later, we're going to also approach these people and we're going to get into really interesting conversations. We're going to ask them why they do the things they do so that we can sooner or later arrive at the root cause of people's behaviors. Humans sort of adopt very specific patterns, and we're going to start to identify those patterns and try to sort of connect them and make some kind of sense from it. And we're also actually going to interact and do what people do, right? This is kind of the deepest part of empathy, to actually play out the situations yourself so that you can feel it in your own skin and in your own circumstances. And so, of course, hopefully we'll see a lot of people actually riding their bicycles out and renting bicycles and trying to sort of absorb the bicycle riding environment in Bergen as much as possible. Right? And so one of the first things that I suggest to my students to do is to actually do it yourself. And so if I'm saying to do it yourself, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. And so basically, today I dressed up as a cyclist. Right? Got the shoes. I actually even shaved my legs, right? I've got the tight spandex. And by doing this, I can get a general sense of what it feels like to be a cyclist, right? I am a cyclist. Proud one, right? But by doing this, I get a clearer idea of what it is to wake up in the morning and have to put this on to go out into the wild, into the Bergen wild, and use my bicycle. So this is just one small example of what it's like to actually gain empathy. And we're going to be doing a lot of these different exercises during the CycleHack. Hopefully you won't look as crazy as I did just now. But anyway, I'm used to looking crazy, so it's okay. After we empathize, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the hub where this event is going to be based. And we're going to try to prototype as many quick ideas as possible to potential solutions of the challenges and the problems that we saw outside in the environment. And these prototypes are going to look in many different shapes and forms. They're going to potentially be based on new systems and new processes that people in the city can adopt to become more bike friendly, but it could potentially also be maybe gadgets or objects or products that people can actually develop really, really quickly with really rough prototyping materials like cardboard and metals and plastics. And yeah, we can have like a soldering station where we can develop kind of different perspectives to the potential solutions that the teams in this event can come up with. And we'll iterate, right? We'll go out again with our prototypes and try to gain more empathy with the users outside to see if we can actually start to validate our ideas little by little, right? We'll have 48 hours, so it's not a lot of time, but there will be a lot of activity. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing all of you there. Before the actual CycleHack happens, we're also promoting a really important event, which is the pre-event, which is on the 6th of June, where I would love for everybody to come over because we're going to be sharing a lot of these tools of empathizing so that you can spend at least 2 weeks, because the actual CycleHack is from the 19th to the 21st of June. And so you'll have approximately 2 weeks between the pre-event and the actual event to do a lot of this ethnographic, anthropologist-based research. And by the time you arrive at the actual CycleHack event, you'll have a lot of pent-up ideas and interesting stories and a lot of sort of background research to be able to make your prototypes and your solutions as robust, interesting, and relevant as possible. So I hope this short video has gotten you sort of excited. I know I am, clearly. As you can see, super excited. There's an awesome team backing this entire event up from the hub and from other parts of the Bergen community. So please do join us. And yeah, looking forward to seeing all of you there and getting a bit crazy. Alrighty, take care. Ha det bra!